Welcome back to 5-Minute Life Hacks. This is your host, Natalia Ambrosia, coming at you from my apartment in Los Angeles, California. So today's episode is a very important one to me, and that's probably why it's taken me so long to record. But today's episode is about pussy magic, or female sexual energy magic, or female reproductive organ magic, and how you can use this special life force energy. Literally, this is the energy that gives life and manifests life. How to use this to know yourself and your body and the world around you, and connect with the world around you and others around you, and then ultimately be more connected and make the world a better place. Because, as beings with reproductive organs, we literally navigate this world differently to those who don't have them. And why not use this amazing power that oftentimes we're taught to repress or not pay attention to? So I am by no means an expert on this. I am on my own journey, and I want to give you a few tips that have helped me connect with myself and my sexual energy more, and have honestly helped me connect with myself even more and have a more connected, fulfilling life. And I'm continuing on this journey, and I'm so happy about it. So I'm happy to pass this along to you. And as always, this episode is inspired by me and my journey. I actually have always felt like a really sexual being, but oftentimes I've felt like it's been repressed, probably because I grew up Catholic, and a lot of religion, actually, I feel like there's an underlying theme of suppressing your sexuality, because sexuality is so important in creating life, which it is, but that's it. And I really don't believe that that is true. I think that a spiritual being is a being that is in tune with all parts of themselves and their bodies, including their sexual energy, their life force energy. And it's not just like, okay, I'm going to turn it on now to make a baby. And so growing up, I didn't really understand that or know that or think about that. And then, as I got older, as I got into college, I was a little bit more free. I had friends around me that were free, but I still didn't even explore that part. And then I was in a relationship for 11 years, and there was a lot of fun and compromise. But again, I was not really focusing on knowing myself and my body. I was in this partnership and my career, and I didn't really have a spotlight on myself. But now I've been single for 2 years, and I've really been finding myself and figuring out who I am and who I want to be in this world. And part of that is knowing who and what my body is doing and how it's different than a man's body, for example, and really connecting with that part of myself and being kind to myself and not having shame with it. And so honestly, my life has changed since connecting with my sexual energy. This is a journey. I'm not done yet. I feel like I know myself, and I'm able to be more present with myself and with those around me, and to feel love and love around me. And honestly, all I want to do is make the world a better, more connected, present place. And I feel like oftentimes as women, we are taught, especially in a religious context, we are taught that we are the object. We are not to tempt men. We are there to be beautiful. And, maybe you didn't grow up like that, which is wonderful. But I think in a lot of places, a lot of cultures, it is like women are beautiful, but they are objects, and they're not to tempt men, and they are there for creating life. We literally create life and manifest. And how and why should we be suppressing that? And so these are my tips. My very, very first and easiest tip is to breathe. Again, because we are the object, a lot of the times we've been taught to suck in our stomachs because flat stomachs are better. And what are you doing when you're sucking in your stomach? You are quite literally restricting and cutting off your life force energy from the rest of your body. Think about it. This is where your reproductive organs are. This is where all the magic happens. And if you're sucking it in, you're not breathing from your belly, you're breathing from your chest. You are cutting off all that amazing energy. So what I'm asking you to do is to literally take a deep breath in right now through your belly, hold, and then breathe out. And try breathing from your belly for most of the day. But if you can't, just try breathing like 3 times a day from your belly. And you're going to notice how much of a difference that makes in terms of your relaxation, your hormones, and your blood circulation. And circulating that blood and your life force energy, even if you think whatever I'm saying, oh yeah, sure, it's a bunch of woo-woo stuff. It's just scientifically, you're going to breathe better and get oxygen flowing throughout your body. So it can't hurt, right? My next tip is to get moving. I don't know about you, but again, being a female, we are often taught not to tempt, not to move, not to ask for it, you know? So growing up, I was a skater girl and I hung out with the boys a lot. And I quite naturally, like a lot of women, sway my hips back and forth. But in order not to tempt the men, I started to constrict my movement. I started to not sway my hips as much. And even now, that's how I walk. I don't sway my hips as much, but it's not natural. I'm like stopping myself. And again, like with the breathing, if you are constricting the way you move, you are constricting your life force energy, and you are not really being yourself in the way that you should fully manifest. So I recommend playing with the way you walk and seeing, is that the way I'm walking? I recommend stretching your hips too, doing like your hips hold a lot of tension and emotion and sexual energy. And so I highly recommend doing stretches. I use a lot of stretches on the fiton.app to stretch my hips with yoga or doing the splits or something like that. That's really helpful, doing those sorts of stretches. Also dancing, turning on some music and just moving your body and seeing where it takes you. I like to do twerk because quite literally you're isolating that area of your body. And that is your root chakra, and you're really connecting with your sexual energy, with the earth, and you're connecting with the world from that place rather than from your head. So I recommend twerking or any movement that has to do with moving your bum. I also like seductive approach. My dance teacher is Shauna Pops on Instagram. I'll add details, but she's really helped me connect with myself and my body. My next tip is to track your cycle. I have a whole episode on menstruation and the cycle and how you can use it to your advantage. Like, for example, when you're PMSing, you're going to be irritable. My friend Beth likes to call it your bullshit meter. You can literally, like at that time of your month, where other times you may be a little bit more like, oh, I don't know, maybe I like this guy, maybe I don't. At that time of the month, you're going to be like, nope, that's not working for me. Write all this stuff down, even with work, write all this stuff down. You can be discerning and you can use those cycles and those hormones to your advantage. And if you're tracking, then you know when it's going to come up and you can plan around it. I like to use KEGG, K-E-G-G. It's a device that you insert inside your vagina that tracks your cervical fluid. And then it'll tell you where you are at your cycle and when you're ovulating and all of that stuff. And it also doubles as a Kegel exercise device, which is actually really great for strengthening your pelvic floor muscles, which is important for your sexual energy as well. I like that device. And if you want a discount, use Natalia 20. I'll add details in the caption. But if you don't want to purchase anything at this moment, you can go on your phone and download a free period tracking app, and that works as well. Again, knowing your body, knowing your hormones, you can plan around it and really harness that menstrual cycle magic. My last tip is to feel yourself, like quite literally feel yourself. I know that I didn't really grow up masturbating just because I didn't think about it. Maybe there was shame around it, lots of other stuff. Then I was in a relationship and I felt like I didn't need to do it and I hadn't explored it before. And since then, I feel like this is going to be another episode. I have learned more about myself. And, if you don't know how to pleasure yourself and what gives you pleasure, how do you expect somebody else to do it? How do you expect to enjoy those things, those life-giving moments, if you don't really know what it is that gives you pleasure? So I recommend people like Layla Martin, Julia Allen, or just doing a Google search on how to masturbate and how to get more out of it. If you've already been doing it, look up Julia Allen or Layla Martin, because they will give you a lot more tips on feeling yourself, how to do it, how to explore your body. And again, that's going to be really important because the more you know yourself inside and out, the more confident you're going to be with yourself and what you want, and the better the world's going to be because you're going to be happy. Fertility. This is a longer episode than normal, but I really hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear what you think because I know it's a little bit different. If there's anything you want me to expand upon or talk about or anything you've learned or anything you want to let me know, that would be wonderful. As always, message me at Natalia Ambrosia. I love hearing from you. I'm sending you lots of love and amazing sexual and life force energy to you today. Have an amazing day. Bye.